In 1945, the residents of Oak Ridge, Tennessee, were shocked to learn the true nature of their work. Nearly all of the 75,000 people living in this secretive, tightly controlled town, known as the Secret City, had no idea they were helping to process uranium for the atomic bomb. It wasn't until news of the devastating bombing of Hiroshima broke that they realized the gravity of their efforts. Most had come to Oak Ridge with only vague assurances that their work would help end the war, never knowing they were part of one of history's most monumental and secretive projects. That purpose became undeniable on August 6, 1945, when the uranium processed in Oak Ridge powered the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima, effectively ending World War II. The work carried out in Oak Ridge's highly guarded facilities was both monumental and shrouded in secrecy, even from those who lived and worked there. Rare photographs taken by the town's only authorized photographer offer a rare glimpse into this enigmatic community. They capture everyday life in Oak Ridge, from moments of suburban normalcy to scenes inside the high-security nuclear plants where workers performed their mysterious tasks. In 1942, the US government chose Oak Ridge as a key site for the Manhattan Project, the secret initiative to develop nuclear weapons. Major General Leslie Groves, the military leader overseeing the project, selected Oak Ridge for its strategic advantages: a sparsely populated area that made land acquisition cheap, and its accessibility by highway and rail, which ensured smooth transportation for the influx of workers. The challenge ahead was monumental. Engineers had to build not just state-of-the-art production plants, but an entire town to house thousands of workers, all under a tight deadline. Even before President Franklin D. Roosevelt officially authorized the Manhattan Project on December 28, 1942, work at the site was already underway. By September of that year, Groves had approved the purchase of 59,000 acres along the Clinch River, about 20 miles west of Knoxville. The site was initially called Site X, before being renamed the Clinton Engineer Works after the nearby town. What started as a remote stretch of land soon transformed into a bustling, high-security hub of scientific and military activity. Early plans for Oak Ridge's military reservation called for housing around 13,000 people in prefabricated homes, trailers, and wooden dormitories. However, as the scope of the Manhattan Project grew, so did the town's population, with estimates rising to 45,000. By the end of the war, Oak Ridge had become the fifth largest city in Tennessee, home to 75,000 residents. The rapid population growth created a housing crisis, forcing the army to scramble to meet the demand for accommodations. To address the shortage, materials were stretched thin, and the first homes were constructed from prefabricated cement and asbestos panels known as cemesto board. These homes, dubbed alphabet houses, were designed in standardized layouts and named with letters. A houses were small two-bedroom units, while C houses were larger with more bedrooms, and D houses featured dining rooms. Over 3,000 of these homes were eventually built. Prefabricated sections arrived complete with walls, floors, plumbing, and wiring, allowing crews to assemble and complete up to 40 homes a day. The town's secrecy was strictly enforced. Billboards throughout Oak Ridge reminded residents to stay focused and silent, even if they didn't fully understand the purpose of their work. A popular saying reflected the culture of discretion. If someone asked you, "What are you making out there in Oak Ridge?" you'd say 79 cents an hour. Security measures were stringent, with the entire town, both military and civilian areas, fenced off and guarded. Vehicles were searched, including those of high-ranking officials, and government agents closely monitored residents. Those who asked too many questions or used prohibited terms like helium or mentioned specific equipment were swiftly removed. The lack of transparency about the nature of their work took a toll on morale. While workers understood their contributions were crucial, they had little idea of the results of their labor. Speculation and rumors flourished, with some suggesting that Oak Ridge was a social experiment engineered by Eleanor Roosevelt to promote communism. 2 years after World War II ended, Oak Ridge transitioned to civilian oversight under the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission. Community operations, including housing and public services, were managed by the Roane Anderson Company under a government contract. In 1959, Oak Ridge was incorporated as a city. The wartime facilities underwent significant changes as well. The S-50 liquid thermal diffusion plant, which had contributed to uranium enrichment, was dismantled soon after the war. The K-25 facility, renowned for pioneering gaseous diffusion for uranium enrichment, continued operations until 1985 and was demolished between 2013 and 2015. Of the original 4 major Manhattan Project sites, 2 remain in operation. The Y-12 facility, originally built for electromagnetic uranium separation, now serves as a center for nuclear weapons processing and materials storage. The X-10 site, home to the graphite reactor used in early nuclear research, has evolved into the Oak Ridge National Laboratory. After the war, former Oak Ridge worker Mary Ann Buford spoke on the radio about the bizarre and mysterious nature of her duties. She worked in the laundry at the Monsanto Chemical Company, where she was responsible for counting uniforms. Her task seemed simple. After the uniforms were washed and ironed, she would check each one using a special instrument. If she heard a clicking noise, she would send it back to be reprocessed. "That's all I did, all day long," she recalled.